We're here still with Shimkawaka, and he has allowed me to tell one of my favorite oyster stories. I am in a maritime museum on the Eastern Shore, and I'm looking at this sketch that's done by monks back in the 1500s. And they're just sketches on the wall of when they passed the Chesapeake Bay. And in one of the sketches, it's divided into four pieces, four seasons: spring, summer, winter, and fall. And it's also diagonally is high tide and low tide. But on low tide, this cove that they are sketching is full of garbage. It's just trash. It's the ugliest thing you've ever seen. In high tide, it's the most pristine, beautiful scenery. So I went to the person in the museum and asked her, and she says, "I was wondering that myself. Let me call the curator." Well, she calls this friendly guy up at home, and he says, "The sketch. You noticed the sketch?" And I said, "Yeah, how can it be garbage on low tide?" He says, "Well, it took me a long time to figure that out, and I finally researched it, and those piles of garbage are oyster beds. They were so deep in the Chesapeake Bay that the natives just walked out on the oyster beds and only picked the big ones out. So their food source for oysters was forever, and they got huge oysters. On high tide, you didn't see them.
Right.
But that's how they harvested them. I couldn't help but add that in. I couldn't find anywhere else that oyster story fit. So we were talking about the power of Powhatan, and also the Pocahontas had a son who turned into a war chief, correct? And not a happy war chief.
No. Yeah, he came back, and
Start with her going to England, if you don't mind.
okay. She went to England with John Rolfe, and she got sick over in England. But she had a child. She had a son, and then he came back here, and there's they have some artifacts down at Jamestown. I think they have. He was given two swords or two pistols. I think it was two pistols that were made special for him, and they've got some documentation on those pistols down there. But he came back, and he was not a happy camper, and I don't know that much about him, but I know he came back, and he was a warrior and a soldier, and he married someone here, I think a white girl, and they had a lot of children, because there's a lot of people now that are descended from that. All the people that claim that they're descended from Pocahontas are descended from her son. And I did a painting of her son, her and her son. That it's at a gallery in Richmond. But I don't know that much about him. But I know that he had these pistols. I think there were silver pistols that were made for him.
Now, your relationship to Pocahontas, you are Pamunkey.
Yeah, the Pamunkey, we're Opie-Kanknew's band. And we're all descended from Opie-Kanknew's group, and his daughter was the Queen of Pamunkey. She married Tottapotamoy. And we have a lineage of descendants of chiefs all the way down to the present day. And we have a list of all the chiefs from Opie-Kanknew all the way down. And so the Pamunkeys, we're the remnants of Opie-Kanknew's people, Opie-Kanknew's tribe.
And I hear that Wayne Newton is also Monkey?
No,
or descendant?
He's Potawatomi or Potomac. I think the original pronunciation was Potawatomi, but today a lot of people say Potomac. And they're from the Potomac River, which is up near Washington, D.C. And there's still a community up there. There's a tribe up there near Fredericksburg. And his family's from there, the Newtons.
Now, were they trying to get Pocahontas' remains brought back?
He was trying to get her remains brought back, but they found out they actually built an addition of the church at Gravesend. They built it on top of her grave. And so there's no way of removing the grave because it's on